You think you know Drew McIntyre? You think this was just another post-match beatdown? Then you haven't been paying attention, and frankly, you're part of the problem. What happened on SmackDown wasn't random violence, it was a premeditated assassination of everything Cody Rhodes stands for. And the worst part? We all should have seen it coming. Let me paint you the picture that WWE doesn't want you to see. Drew McIntyre just dismantled Jimmy Uso in what should have been a routine singles match. The Scottish Warrior looked absolutely dominant, hitting the Claymore Kick with such precision that Jimmy didn't know what century he was in. The match was over. Drew won. End of story, right? Wrong. Because what happened next exposed the real Drew McIntyre, the one who's been hiding behind that honorable warrior facade 4 months. Here's the question everyone's avoiding: why Cody? Cody Rhodes walks down that ramp, hand extended, ready to congratulate Drew on a hard-fought victory. The undisputed WWE Champion, showing respect to a fellow competitor. A man who's built his entire comeback story on honor, respect, and finishing his story. And Drew looked at that hand like it was poisoned. The disrespect in his eyes wasn't just visible, it was radioactive. But it gets worse. So much worse. Drew didn't just reject Cody's handshake. He didn't just turn his back and walk away. No, this man, this supposed hero of WWE, delivered a Claymore Kick so vicious, so calculated, that Cody was unconscious before he hit the mat. And then, as if that wasn't enough, Drew stood over the fallen champion with a look that said everything: I should be you. Now here's where I need you to sound off in the comments: was Drew justified? Drop a 1 if you think Cody had this coming, or a 2 if Drew just made the biggest mistake of his career. Let's rewind and talk about the match itself because it's crucial to understanding Drew's mental state. Jimmy Uso came into this match with something to prove. The bloodline may be fractured, may be hanging by a thread, but Jimmy's loyalty has never wavered. He stepped into that ring against Drew McIntyre knowing full well he was facing a man possessed. Drew's been on an absolute tear lately, and this match was no different. From the opening bell, he was relentless. The chops that echoed through the arena like thunderclaps. The overhead belly-to-belly suplexes that made Jimmy look like he was being thrown by an actual Scottish Highland bull. Every move Drew executed wasn't just about winning, it was about sending a message. Jimmy tried. Give him credit, he tried everything. The superkicks, the suicide dives, the heart of a warrior who's been through wars with his family. But Drew was on another level. When Drew hoisted Jimmy up for the future shock DDT, you could see Jimmy's eyes glaze over. The writing was on the wall, carved in stone, written in blood. And then came the Claymore, that devastating Claymore Kick that has ended countless careers and championship reigns. Jimmy never saw it coming. The 3 count was academic. Drew McIntyre had won decisively, dominantly, and definitively. But this is where the story takes a dark turn. Cody Rhodes, being the champion he is, being the man he claims to be, walks down to show respect. Think about that for a second. Cody had zero obligation to be there. He wasn't scheduled for a match. He wasn't cutting a promo. He simply wanted to acknowledge a fellow superstar's victory. That's the kind of champion he is, or at least, that's what he wants us to believe. Drew's reaction was immediate and chilling. The smile disappeared from his face. His jaw clenched. His fists tightened. And in that moment, everyone in the arena knew something bad was about to happen. The energy shifted from celebration to anticipation to horror in about 3 seconds flat. Here's another question for the comments. How many of you predicted Drew would snap? Be honest. Drop your answer below. The Claymore Kick heard around the world. That's what we're calling it now. Cody didn't see it coming because he trusted Drew. He believed in the code of honor that Drew has preached for years. And that trust, Drew weaponized it. He turned Cody's respect into a vulnerability and exploited it like the calculating predator he's always been underneath that warrior persona. Let's talk about what this means for WWE's landscape. Cody Rhodes has been on an incredible run as undisputed WWE Champion. He finished his story at WrestleMania, defeating Roman Reigns in one of the most emotional moments in recent WWE history. He's defended that title against everyone: AJ Styles, Solo Psycho, Logan Paul, the list goes on. He's been a fighting champion, exactly what WWE needed after Roman's extended reign. But Drew's been in the shadows, watching, waiting, seething. He's been one of the best performers in WWE for years, yet the top championship has eluded him. Sure, he's been WWE champion before, but not when it mattered most, not on the grandest stage. Every time Drew gets close, something or someone gets in his way. And now Drew's asking himself, why not me? That's the question burning in his mind. Why does Cody get the fairy tale ending while Drew gets obstacle after obstacle? Why does Cody get the standing ovations while Drew gets polite applause? Why does Cody get to be the face of WWE while Drew is just another name on the roster? The answer? Drew believes Cody doesn't deserve it, and that attack on SmackDown was Drew's declaration of war. Let's not forget the Jimmy Uso factor in all of this. The Bloodline story has dominated WWE for over 3 years. Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Psycho, Paul Heyman, it's been the most compelling storyline in wrestling. Jimmy's loyalty to Roman, even after everything that's happened, even after the betrayals and the losses, shows the kind of character he is. Drew beating Jimmy wasn't just about winning a match. It was about sending a message to the Bloodline, to Cody, to everyone watching. Drew McIntyre is done being overlooked. He's done being the supporting character in someone else's story. He's ready to write his own ending, and it starts with destroying Cody Rhodes. Drop in the comments, should the Bloodline get involved in this Drew-Cody situation? Could we see an unexpected alliance? Now, let's analyze Drew's psychology here because it's fascinating. This is a man who's climbed every mountain in WWE. He's been released, rebuilt himself, came back stronger, won the WWE Championship in an empty arena during the pandemic, arguably the worst timing possible for a championship win. No crowd, no celebration, no WrestleMania moment, just silence that had to eat at him. Watching other superstars get their moments, their celebrations, their standing ovations while his biggest achievement happened in a void, that creates bitterness, that creates resentment, and that resentment has been festering for years. Cody represents everything Drew didn't get. Cody left WWE, became a star elsewhere, and came back to a hero's welcome. Cody got his WrestleMania moment with thousands of fans singing his song. Cody got to finish his story on the biggest stage possible while Drew's story got written in invisible ink. The attack makes perfect sense when you understand Drew's perspective. It's not villainous, it's human. It's what happens when a man reaches his breaking point and decides he's tired of being noble, tired of being honorable, tired of being overlooked. But here's the real question, is Drew right? Has Cody been given opportunities that Drew never got? Has WWE favored the returning star over the loyal soldier who never left? These are uncomfortable questions that WWE doesn't want us asking, but Drew's attack forces us to confront them. The SmackDown crowd was in absolute shock. You could hear the collective gasp when Drew's boot connected with Cody's face. Some fans cheered, they understood Drew's frustration. Others booed, they saw it as a cowardly attack. But everyone reacted, and that's what makes this storyline so brilliant. There's no clear right or wrong here. It's just two men with legitimate grievances on a collision course. What's your take? Comment Team Drew if you understand his frustration, or Team Cody if you think he's the rightful champion who earned everything he's got. Let's talk about what comes next because this is far from over. Cody Rhodes isn't going to take this lying down, literally or figuratively. The American Nightmare has built his entire career on resilience, on fighting back, on overcoming adversity. This attack is just another chapter in his story, another obstacle to overcome. But Drew has awakened something in Cody. He's reminded the champion that there's always someone hungrier, someone willing to do whatever it takes, someone ready to take that title by any means necessary. And that someone is Drew McIntyre. The inevitable clash between these two is going to be explosive. Whether it happens at the next premium live event or builds toward a major show like Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, this feud has all the ingredients of a classic, personal animosity, legitimate championship aspirations, and two of the best performers in the industry today. Drew's calculated attack also raises questions about his future. Has he turned heel? Is he still the heroic Scottish warrior, just frustrated? Or has he evolved into something more dangerous, a man with nothing to lose and everything to gain? The beauty of this storyline is its complexity. Drew isn't wrong for feeling overlooked. Cody isn't wrong for being proud of his accomplishments. They are both right from their perspectives, and that's what creates must-see television. Final question for you, where does this rank among the best WWE betrayals? Drop your rankings below. Jimmy Uso's role shouldn't be forgotten either. He was the catalyst for this explosion. His match with Drew set the stage for everything that followed. The Bloodline's involvement could add layers to this story. Could Roman Reigns use this situation to his advantage? Could we see an unholy alliance between former enemies united against a common threat? The possibilities are endless, and that's what makes WWE storytelling at its best so compelling. Every action creates reactions. Every decision has consequences. Drew's choice to attack Cody has set in motion a chain of events that will reshape WWE's main event scene for months to come. This wasn't just a post-match attack. This was a declaration. Drew McIntyre is done waiting his turn. He's done being patient. He's done being the honorable warrior who watches others get what he deserves. The Scottish Warrior has become the Scottish Predator, and Cody Rhodes is in his crosshairs. Now it's your turn. What should Cody's response be? How should WWE book this feud? Share your fantasy booking in the comments, and don't forget to like and share this video if you want more deep dives into WWE's hottest storylines. The revolution has begun, and Drew McIntyre is leading the charge.